Welcome everyone. In this video, we'll look at two ways that flash loans can be used to exploit DeFi protocols. Despite all the talent working on building applications on blockchains like Ethereum, Polygon, BNB chain, and the likes, there's still the possibility that they may overlook the code. Then, cybercriminals can understand how these contracts work and understand the flaws and use the power of flash loans to exploit these flaws in the code themselves. The most common way to hack a DeFi protocol is by using flash loans. Flash loans allow anybody to borrow large amounts of money, even hundreds of millions of dollars, without a credit check and without even supplying any collateral. But they need to return that loan within the same transaction. So all the hacks that I'm going to explain in this video happen all within one transaction. There's nothing wrong with the blockchains themselves, as they're simply executing what the code in the DeFi protocol is telling them to do. There are a couple main ways that flash loans can be used to hack DeFi protocols. The most common one by far is price manipulation. And the second one, although I did not see very many cases of this, is manipulating governance. Some DeFi protocols make the mistake of relying on decentralized exchanges for price information. But with the use of flash loans, a hacker could manipulate these prices on these decentralized exchanges and use that to their advantage in the DeFi protocol. For example, if there's a DeFi protocol that allows you to supply collateral and borrow against that collateral, if one were to use flash loans to manipulate prices, then they could supply collateral in an asset that has an inflated price and use that to borrow an asset that has a devalued price due to their manipulation, and therefore borrow more than they actually supplied in collateral. When the prices on the decentralized exchange go back to fair value, it will let the DeFi protocol know of these updated prices. This is when the DeFi protocol will know that the supplied collateral is actually lower than the borrowed amount. It will then begin to liquidate the attacker's collateral position, but at that point, it doesn't even matter because the attacker has already secured the borrowed amount. And this is exactly what happened to BZX. In a nutshell, an attacker borrowed almost 10,000 Ether with a flash loan. They then went to a decentralized exchange, I believe it was Kyber, and they sold Ethereum for SUSD. This made the price of Ethereum, with all that selling pressure, drop, and the SUSD that should be $1, it actually rose up to over $2 relative to Ethereum. Then that hacker grabbed that newly purchased and inflated SUSD, supplied that as collateral on BZX. So then BZX thought that that collateral that user supplied was worth more than it actually was, and therefore gave permission for that attacker to borrow more than they should have. And that's exactly what the hacker did. He borrowed more Ether than he was initially allowed to do. Then he used that Ether, repaid that initial loan, and pocketed, I believe, about 2,000 Ether. That is just one example of using flash loans to manipulate prices for the attacker's advantage. But there's many more examples. Pancake Bunny, which lost $45 million, Cream Finance, $130 million, and Belt Finance, which lost $6.2 million, just to name a few. The solution for this is rather simple. When building a DeFi application, do not rely on decentralized exchanges for pricing. You should use something like a Chainlink price oracle, which will look at the prices of an asset over a period of time, give a bit more of an average price, and I'm sure it would remove extreme values, such as if a flash loan was used in one transaction, which change the ratio of one asset to another. The second method we'll look at, in which flash loans can be used to attack DeFi protocols, is manipulating governance. Some projects have a decentralized governance system that allows token holders to vote on different proposals and different topics to, for example, upgrade the code in the contract. Although this model has many advantages, as it allows the token holders to dictate the future direction of a protocol, it also leaves the opportunity for it to get manipulated. For example, an attacker could take out a flash loan in the governance token and use that to vote on a faulty, malicious proposal. This is exactly what happened with Beanstalk. Beanstalk has a governance token called Stock, and it can be used to vote on proposals to update the code. And with a supermajority vote, or over 2/3 vote, somebody could complete these changes in 24 hours. And that's exactly what this hacker did in April 2020. He made a malicious proposal which allowed him to withdraw the treasury funds from Beanstalk to his own wallet. With a flash loan, he borrowed enough stock tokens to have a supermajority vote. He voted on this proposal, it passed, and within 24 hours, he had tens of millions of dollars of stolen cryptocurrency in his wallet. And with many other examples of hacks, no one knows who he is. Although there are some projects that have developers with bad intentions that completely rug pull a project, there are many more with developers with good intentions that just overlooked a part of their code, or the auditors overlooked that part of the code as well. And cybercriminals researched these different codes, see how they work, and found ways to manipulate them with flash loans. After a string of flash loan attacks in early mid 2021, Binance came out with a few guidelines to projects on how to avoid these issues. The first one is simply get your project audited. You should also have the proper risk controls in place to monitor these anomalies in real time. Next, come up with a plan in case the worst case happens, and set up a bounty program so that if anybody finds a hack, they could report it to you and get a reward rather than stealing all your money. As an individual blockchain developer working on an application, which I'll announce to this channel, security is of utmost importance. While doing research on different hacks, I come across many different interesting types and things that I'll certainly need to look out for and already implemented into my code. And I'll be happy to share it with you in this channel. So if you're interested in such topics, which I'm sure you have if you made it this far, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.